On this episode, we revisit one of our favorite episodes back at the end of 2021 when we do a blind flight of the Buffalo Trace lineup. And we did the results surprise. Find out what they were and what we thought on this episode of the Bourbon Hunters. But before we get started, do you support our podcast? Like bourbon gear? Visit our website at www.bourbonhunters.com to buy some of our custom bourbon gear and support the podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on our hunt for bourbon. Reward yourself, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I am Duke Poole. I'm joined by
Brett Bryan
and
Tyler Schaefer.
And tonight we're doing another blind. We had a little cancellation for a live episode we were going to do, which we're doing this next week. But we're going to do another blind. I thought this one would be a little fun. Brett doesn't know what it is. Tyler does, if he remembers, and which I would be really surprised if he remembers exactly what it is. So Brett's going to go...
We're doing a Buffalo Trace.
Oh, fucking what the fuck? I just said Brett doesn't want to know.
But he doesn't know everything that's in there.
No, he doesn't, but he didn't want to know anything.
Well, then don't say stupid shit like I won't know.
Like Brett doesn't want to know, and then you just fucking within 5 seconds announce what it is?
Get out that like Men in Black pin where it's like, pew!
But we're starting off hot on this episode. What the fuck, Brett and Tyler?
So at least the cold opener or the Tylerism is at the beginning of the episode.
We don't even have to use a cold opener. We'll just do this. Boom, bam, bam, and then...
Yeah, there's no need.
All right, I'm going to do another. Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I'm Dude Poole. I'm joined by...
Brett Bryan.
And
Tyler Schaefer.
Oh, my God, Tyler. I don't even understand. So before we get started, let's talk about our...
You don't want to know anything about the blinds?
Holy shit. I was about to fucking say something again.
Honestly, I like when there is no bias to it whatsoever.
But there's you gotta like know some information.
We did last time.
I don't have to know anything. My personality, I like to know, but I don't have to know.
We did a toasted blind last time. You knew nothing about it, and you enjoyed that.
The power of persuasion,
but I like to know some information.
You didn't, and you didn't want to know last time.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean...
You're contradicting yourself. So let's talk about Green Line Goods.
I mean, it's
guys.
like sticking your...
That's like twice in a row.
It's like sticking your dick in a glory hole. I mean, like... Yeah,
how many times
have
you done that?
It's nice to not know, but sometimes it is nice to know who's on the other side.
What did his hands feel like?
I have no idea. He is derailed. Did you drink before you came?
No.
All right.
Third time.
So let's talk about Green Line Goods and our glasses that we got. How are you guys liking those?
I love my glass. I just had an old fashioned in it. What is today? Monday?
Yep.
Saturday night.
Nice.
I had an old fashioned out of it. Loved it, man.
I've actually almost been exclusively drinking out of them.
And now you, Tyler, you got the Michigan State one. You got Brett. You got the chemistry
nerdy
one.
Chemistry one. Yeah.
And then I got the hand blown crystal one. And I've been drinking out of mine every so often too. And I did an old fashioned in mine the other day, which was really, really, not that it tasted better because of it, but like it was neat. It was the glasses. I didn't realize because mine came first, and it felt a little flimsy just because it's hand blown. I don't know much about glass and glassware.
Are they hand wash only?
Yours aren't because they're edged. I think mine is technically because it's so flimsy. It's not flimsy is not the right word, but it seems fragile.
Delicate.
Yeah, delicate. It seems fragile, but it's hand blown, so it's thinner, and it just doesn't have the heft that your guys's did. Yeah. When your guys's came in, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I feel a lot better about this because I knew mine was hand blown, so I knew it was going to be a little different.
The bottom of yours is really cool too.
It is
that
little
indention.
Yeah, the little divot or whatever it is inside of it. And what's interesting, what's interesting is they're both. Fit. I have two of them. They're both different size divots, so you can kind of tell they're hand blown.
Oh, they're unique.
Yeah, so like each one is a little bit different, which is kind of cool. But no, I've been drinking out of mine whenever I can too, whenever it makes sense. I've even had just some straight up neat pours in it.
If they have a suggestion box, tell them to make an OSU one. We'll sell like 100.
Yeah, but they
away.
probably have to pay more in licensing. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, I would definitely take an OSU one if they ever do one.
Oh yeah,
what I'd like for them to do at some point is to do a Bourbon Hunters one.
Oh, that would be cool. We would sell so many of those.
But maybe like
Because you guys would buy them.
I'd buy 100 of them. No, but it'd be cool if they had like a Bourbon Hunters rocks glass or something like that.
Yeah. I honestly would buy them and give them out as gifts to people. Like, that's a great
sure.
birthday gift, Christmas gift.
All right, so we are doing a blind. Apparently, Tyler let the cat out of the bag that was not supposed to let out.
I didn't hear anything.
It's fair. It's fine. So, Brett, you're going to go back there and randomly choose a lineup for us. I've got them poured. I know what they are. I don't know what order they're going to come out to us in.
And I've already written down the order, so I don't forget to write it down or anything like that. So
so smart.
I trust you. Yeah. I trust you. That's why Tyler doesn't do this part of it.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
So, Tyler, you started a new job. You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it's interesting now because when we go on our trip in December, Jeff and you now work together. Yeah. So it's going to be probably like a bitch fest, or your guys are both going to be too reserved because you work with each other now and not let your hair down?
Here's the thing. Like, I think Jeff and I have a very good relationship of understanding like what's business and what's
keeping the personal and the business separate.
Yeah.
Holy Tyler pour here, man. Apparently, I got a little heavy-handed on mine. Yours is fine. Look at mine compared to yours.
Yeah.
Mine's heavy. Look at that.
Like, he'll respond to your guys' text messages, and I won't, specifically because,
he's on them.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, but, I don't want to sit there and, like, for him to know that.
The not cold one was the one I already had.
That's yours, Tyler. Oh, I didn't mix them up.
It doesn't make a difference. I haven't opened it yet, so that's fine. So I hear you. It's interesting keeping that line between professional and personal because he's a personal friend of yours before you. It
could be good though. Like,
no, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's like you can either choose to look at it in a good light or a negative light. Obviously,
right.
Well,
and so it's similar to you, but a little different. I worked with a guy back from 2000 all the way to 2007.
Yeah.
We went our separate ways, stayed friends, and then he just hired me to work at my current job.
Yeah.
And so we're friends and co-workers now. He's actually my boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been able to keep that separation.
And a lot of times, like, you have like a direct report that's. It's not always like it's like they're your boss, but not necessarily your boss. Like you might have someone else that's like more your traditional boss that you don't have that much interaction with, but then you have a direct report that you're obviously reporting to, but it's a little bit more like loose ends there. But honestly, I wouldn't work under someone that I didn't knowingly respect. Knowingly work under them that I didn't respect.
No, I know what you mean, and he's a guy I would see myself working for if I needed to. I like him. He's a good guy. That's why we invite him on our trip.
Yeah.
So first pour here. So Brett brought us out one. I've got a Tyler pour apparently. Brett does too apparently. You're the only one who has the light pour.
Good, thank God.
So the only problem is I normally eat dinner before we do this. I have not had anything to eat tonight, so it might get a little sloppy.
Good.
If it sounds like I'm having a stroke.
It smells very sweet.
It's not the case. I'm just drunk.
What have you guys been drinking lately? I always like to ask you guys that. Like, what's been your flavor?
I cracked into my Four Roses barrel strength single barrel.
Nice.
How do you like it? I love those. I think they're
fantastic.
So good. Yeah, they are.
When have you had one? Just at a bar or something?
No, I've got two.
He's got two.
There.
The barrel strengths?
They're barrel picks too.
Every
on top of
time
that,
you
aren't they?
bring it up, I send you a picture of mine.
I didn't know.
They're both from Bourbon Enthusiast.
Yeah, so I thought they were barrel picks.
Okay.
That's no, they're great. I love
them. They're fantastic. Obviously, like you can, taste the heat in it a little bit, but it's got quite a bit of oak flavor. I want to say in mine.
Yeah, they're good.
I've had some delicious.
But now we can do, basically a full episode of the three of them together, and then just a regular single barrel.
Four Roses is one of those.
Yeah.
Just they're single barrels that aren't cast or
That's
barrel
what I mean.
strength.
Just they're delicious.
We did an episode of that. Be you and Aaron. Remember?
That was like when COVID first happened.
Yeah, COVID, and then so. The barrel, like Four Roses, is just one of those sleeper distilleries for whatever reason, and it's they're solid.
In our light, like there's not a ton of opportunity in Four Roses for us to we can continuously review them as we get different things in, but they don't have a huge product line.
Minus their yearly limited edition. There's not much.
Yeah.
There's not much that comes from there. Minus their different recipes.
And their barrel strengths are almost impossible to get a hold of. Like they're at the distillery or they're club pick. They're not sitting on the shelf anywhere. They're not allocated.
I don't know what took you so long.
That's.
So let's definitely some sweetness on this one for sure.
It's more of apparel.
Pear.
Apparel?
I said apparel.
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 You guys like my little bowl thing over there on the shelf?
You mean bowl or bull? B-U-L-L, bull?
Yeah, on the shelf right there.
I was looking at a bowl. Oh, see, there is a bowl above the bowl,
Trina
so that's
got this
a little
confusing.
confusing.
Trina got this gold drink cart, and then she wanted to compliment it with some gold things. She got that gold bowl, and then behind you there's a gold wishbone in the little basket behind you on the other shelf.
Wow, look at her. You just married Joanna Gaines.
Yeah, something. I think Joanna Gaines is trying to model herself after my wife.
Yeah.
But
who do you think has the bigger budget?
Probably Gaines. Until I throw money at it.
Yeah.
But so my parents are bringing up my little CAD drawings of barrels this week. So I'm going to get those framed, and then I'm going to frame those ones that I took.
Yeah.
And then this is going to get framed as well.
Very nice.
So the wall should be completed here.
In this sitting room, then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then up there, too, on the landing.
Yeah.
That's where that's going to go. And then I think it's going to be flanked by the Ohio State Barrelhead. It's going to be flanked by some pictures that I took in different distilleries.
I approve. I like it.
Either that or... Yeah, go ahead.
Your video got quite a bit of views. Turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I got like 4,000 views and then like a whole bunch of shares, which was good. Ooh.
That cameraman was phenomenal is all I could say. Like, that cameraman got all those angles, and it's like he's semi-professional.
It's all about the angles.
It's almost as if Brett was the cameraman.
That's fantastic.
So what do you guys think of this?
I'm just now taking my first drink.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad this was a hefty pour, actually.
This is fantastic. I'm getting that butterscotch a little bit that I love so much.
Yeah,
that
I definitely get butterscotch.
And that's one of my absolute favorite profiles. Like,
this is just like your typical bourbon.
This is
like
an easy drinker.
I wish this was my typical bourbon.
No, I'm saying
phenomenal.
if I could like pinpoint what someone says, hey, this is your traditional bourbon profile to the T, 10 out of 10.
I don't want you to answer this, Tyler. Honestly. But you know the category now. You don't know what is in the blend.
Correct.
What would you think this might be?
I feel like this has got to be something higher end.
I don't know what you picked, by the way. I don't remember that.
You don't?
No.
Right. I mean, I've only had Elmer T. Lee twice, and I really enjoyed it.
When did you have it the first time?
For my birthday. You bought me a shot of it for my birthday.
Yeah, I knew that.
Which was like...
That was a leading question.
The best thing about that, too, is you didn't tell me what it was, and I love that to be surprised with things.
I know.
And I'm like, fuck, what is this? This is so good. And I already had a few in me, but whatever.
Drinks. He's talking about
drinks.
Yeah.
Clear. Yeah.
Not Benoit balls.
But I don't think this is Eagle Rare. I don't think it's that at all, because it doesn't have... It's got that little bit of extra rye in it, Eagle Rare does.
Well, there's only 2 non-wheat mash bills.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace. Don't
this
forget.
could be a wheater. You know what? I wonder if this is Weller Special Reserve then. It could be, because it's sweet like that, but I don't remember it having that buttery note to it. It's not 107 100%. In my opinion.
It definitely isn't a higher proof bourbon for sure.
I'm going to be completely wrong. This is going to be like a rye...
Like the rye mash.
The second drink, though, I will say,
heavy mash bill.
The second drink, I did get more of a rye spice on it, though. The first one, I did not. So I don't know if my palate was just.
This is good. I get the butterscotch for sure. It's definitely just an easy drinker. This is something I could sip on nonstop. Now, I'm going to be pissed off if this is something that's really hard to get. I can't remember.
I think it's Weller Special Reserve, but
like the point is this is such an easy drinker. This could be something I keep in my, my decanter or
Knowing Buffalo Trace, it probably is something that should just be like a daily drinker. But
this could be Buffalo Trace too.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, you're right.
But the potato heads,
Buffalo Trace is made by Buffalo Trace.
The potato heads,
the potato heads,
the taters.
The taters.
The people that you don't know what a tater is? Holy shit!
How
are you on a bourbon podcast? You don't know what a tater? You don't know what a tater is?
People
Taters are the douchebags out there collecting all the bourbon.
Oh, I've never heard
collecting it for. They're called taters.
I'll be damned.
That's so funny that
I've never.
No. That's. I mean, you aren't on Facebook, and that's generally where they. That's where the term is used the most that I see, and you're not on Facebook, so I'll let it pass.
Do they start as tater tots and then they grow into taters?
And then they grow into full blown taters.
God, I'm so happy I don't have a Facebook anymore.
I haven't had it for years.
I tried to get into it the other day again. Just wouldn't let me, so I'm like, yeah.
I get why people want it to share things and stuff like that, but I don't, you know what I mean? I've got like 4 friends and I just send them text messages, so I'm okay with it.
And 3 of them are in this house. One of them is my dog.
Yeah. So 2 of them are sitting here, so.
It's fair. So get us the next round.
I'm not even done with this one, but
that's
okay.
All right. You want to have something to compare to, right?
That's a valid point. Now let me look and see.
So Tyler, on your odd metric system, what would you rate this as?
You know, you're gonna say this is dumb.
Oh, you don't even have to give us that preface.
Yeah. As I have ryes more, and this could be a rye base, it could be. But you know, I'm starting to separate those categories. But if you're gonna combine both of those,
now when you say rye, you actually mean rye, not a rye based bourbon, but an actual rye whiskey, right?
I would say a high rye.
Thank you, sir.
Or a rye, one of the two.
Yeah. I hear you.
I mean, I think that's a 3.9.
All right.
Out of 5, just clarifying. Yeah. Okay.
That's a good point. No, it could be out of 20. No, and Tyler, it could have been out of 30.
Yeah. It could be out of 14.6.
I'll give it a 3.9 out of 25.
3.9.
All right. So we got our second pour here. We've got 5 we're going through tonight, guys. So we're going to try to speed through these a little bit.
It's like speed dating.
It is like speed dating. Oh, this has a good nose. What do you guys get on the nose on this one? This is a...
It's a little bit water. Oh, wait, that's my water.
Yeah. A little bit more, not more. Sweetness again, I'm getting.
Some fruit.
Definitely some fruit.
Some apple or like a crisp apple.
And you know what I love?
Put a lot of emphasis on the P. Sorry. Yeah. Crisp.
You did. Crisp.
Crispy.
What I love about this is there's only 2 mash bills on the bourbon side at Buffalo Trace. And they make so many different brands.
They do.
It's just a testament to where it ages, how long it ages, how that progresses through the process of the maturation of the bourbon. So your benchmarks are the quick ones up in the top levels.
I'll say it's benchmark in this.
It might be. They're Buffalo Trace, right? It could be.
I hope the first one was benchmark, and I was like, "Oh, this is so good,
so good, so good,
so good."
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but seriously, it's amazing how just where it's located in the rickhouse, how long it ages for.
And all the same mash bills.
And all the same, and sometimes just
not all, but
sometimes just a different rickhouse.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace, or Blanton's is all in a different rickhouse. People schnoz. Get it going. So, all right. So
I know I've been slacking on the people schnoz.
I've been tagging the shit out
of it. I know.
Nothing's coming from it. So, definitely apple, crispy, fruity type thing. Pear, apple, something like that. Some sweetness. I'm going to dive into this. What do you guys think?
God, this is very good as well. I'm trying to...
We're not doing... Oh, God, yeah, that's... The mouthfeel on this one's really good.
It is. It's got a little more viscosity to it. It kind of...
just about to say
it lingers a little bit longer. Very pleasant.
Again, very easy to drink. Very easy to drink.
Not as, in my opinion, not as good as the first one.
You don't think so? Okay. I think this one's
I don't know. There's something on the back end of it. So
I think this one's better.
It's got a little bit more to it. There's maybe a little bit higher rye content in this one.
I think this one has a little more complexity.
Yeah.
The back end, I'm getting like a toffee. It's very, very faint. It hits the very back of my tongue. There's like this toffee thing that maybe I'm not describing it well.
No, I think I would have never said toffee, but now that you've said it, I agree. That's probably a good descriptor. To go back to your previous question, I've been drinking Old Elk Infinity Blend.
Oh, it's so good.
It is really good. And then I've been drinking the Middle West Spirits sherry finished cask strength bourbon.
I got one of those, and I'm very excited to try it.
Yeah, I picked that up for you.
Thank you.
You're going to enjoy it. It's really good. Did you say you already have the rye finished?
No, I have the rye
the
cask strength rye, that one that was a big hit.
Yeah, that was good.
I bought 2 of those.
Did Rudra say anything? Any other?
What about our other barrel pick that we did? Whatever happened?
It's coming soon. It's almost ready.
Yeah. Anything else in the works from them?
Right now,
this was a big release.
Are they doing another?
Well, they just did 3
rye
releases.
cask strength? Yeah.
Right now, he said they only have 1 barrel in the barrel pick right now.
Shit.
Because they just did one for that is for Pins Mechanical. It's going to be their house barrel pick.
Amazing
for all of them.
Popular this is getting.
And Middle West is really matured
great.
well.
Yeah, I'm very happy for them.
Black and Brown Podcast was just talking about them the other day. They actually, their TSR pick that I didn't get to be a part of because I couldn't go, ended up being one of their bourbons of the year.
Oh, wow.
Well, they liked our pick as well, I believe.
They did.
They loved it.
And they were talking about that in the awards show. They were talking about our pick. They were talking about the regular bottle shelf versions. I sent them some cask strength picks as well, but their TSR pick that they picked that as one of their bourbons of the year. They're really good, guys. I mean, Middle West Spirits is putting out some really good stuff right now.
Yeah, and I love that they're farm to bottle. Like everything's here, like local.
Well, and they're creating. So they've got their urban experience now, kind of like your Evan Williams, experience in downtown Louisville, the Fort Nelson Mictors downtown. They've got that now with their right off like a block off of 5th on High Street. And then they're building out at Alum Creek, I think it is, or Gahanna or something like that.
Yeah.
They're building their new visitor center, which is going to be where they age their barrels. That's going to be where they do like their tastings of their barrel picks, all that stuff. It's going to be their visitor center, like I love that. Traditional visitor center.
Do they do any single barrels that aren't cask or no?
You could probably ask them to not do a cask strength.
But who would want that?
Yeah,
no, I think there's
such a thing right now.
There's a demographic. Like we just talked about Four Roses. That single barrel is not cask strength. There is a demographic for that, and they get more product that way.
But that's a shelf product.
Yeah, and that's what I meant as a shelf product for sure.
But I think most of the people that are into single barrels like the cask strength.
Okay.
And I think so and I just ordered another Old Forester cask strength or barrel strength or whatever they do for a single barrel. But I think, honest to God,
we love you, Jackie.
Yeah, there are some things that I don't think that's the pick. Like so many people are not doing the 100 proof selection for Old Forester, and I think that's their sweet spot.
Yeah. I'm curious to open up obviously yours, but my other Old Forester pick. So,
have you not opened yours yet?
Not my other one. I have the one that's open, and every single time I open it, I'm like,
Michigan?
No, it's from a Raz I won.
Oh, okay.
Every single time I open it, I'm like, whoo.
Is it barrel strength?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Old Forester, I feel like when their barrel strength, I think comes off really hot.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's good. It's got great flavor, great complexity. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it comes off really hot. Well, I love their 100 proof. It's the perfect
How many
drinking.
do you have now?
Well, I've gone through a couple. I've got 3 or 4 right now. I think
different ones.
I've got 2 barrel strengths, 100 proof and a 90 proof, I think. And I've got a 100 proof I've got a barrel strength showing up on Tuesday.
Well, we can now do 4 barrel strengths.
I have one in the mail coming, so I will have 3 barrel strengths in a second.
And I have 2.
So we'll have 5 if we want to get really plowed.
if we want to be shit faced,
right?
We have 5.
So, all right. What do you guys get on the mouthfeel, taste, and all that on this? We said viscosity. We liked.
Yes.
You said you liked the first one better than the second one.
I'm leaning that way. This is like a 3-4 to me. It's like a 3-4.
I think I like this one better than the first one.
I think I do too.
I'm trying not to confuse these because I'm writing down the order that I'm picking them, and I'm also writing down the order that I enjoy them.
New line.
I know. I even did like a space down, and I put like order.
All right, pick our third one here. So, yeah, for me, drinking right now, I've been all over the board. I've been trying to get rid of some anchors because my bottle count is getting way too high.
Oh God, what did I do?
I've actually been slightly nervous because I'm at that point in time
where you need to get some new bottles.
Well, yes, but I'm like killing bottles left and right because I only had a fourth left of them.
Yeah,
and like my display is like dwindling. I'm like, fuck.
Well, you better pick up some nice bottles, man. Stop relying on my bourbon.
1792 small batch. That one gone. Blade and Bow gone.
I'm about to kill my Blade and Bow so I can go find my third key.
You know, we only have to take a picture of.
I'm not cheating the process. That's not cool.
I get that.
Not cool.
But we'll get there. What I'm saying is we'll get there.
Yeah, and I want to get there by like September, so they have time to engrave our cup. So by the time we get there in December, we can go
why?
pick it up.
I mean, why wouldn't we just all send a picture in of the same fucking things?
Because I don't want
the same day.
Well, how about you get there? We'll take photos, and we'll get there over time.
So I don't want to cheat it.
I have three keys.
That's like going. So that's like going to fucking Buffalo Trace Distillery and buying the fucking
That's not the same.
It's exactly the same. How's it not?
It is. Part of it is
identical.
It's not the same.
It's the fun of doing it.
Right. It's the fun.
You know
of the
what
chase.
I mean? Do you? Any of you guys have duplicate keys, by the way? Because
I
I
do.
have. Do you? Do you know what?
I think. What did I say? 2.
I've got a sheets thing of it.
Yeah.
I've got 1 and
I
2.
have multiple 2s.
I have
think
2 3s. So if you need a 3, I could trade you a 3 for a 2.
Sure.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we've got our third one here out of 5. How do you guys feel about the nose on this one?
God damn it, dude! I got trouble. This is a little bit more muted than the other 2.
Agree.
Still crisp on the nose.
There is that. I agree. There's a little bit of that like crisp fruit.
Yep.
Again,
crisp fruit.
We've done this multiple times.
When is your tree coming down?
Well, you're the one who said it wasn't a Christmas tree. It was a winter
holiday
tree. He said winter
winter
tree.
It is
So
a
I can
winter
just
tree.
It does
That's
say
the
Merry
songs I
Christmas
want.
right there, though.
Yeah,
Shut
just
up.
take the Merry
Shut
Christmas
up.
thing
I'll
off.
turn it around.
I'll just spin it.
I'm okay with it.
I love like the ambiance of it in the room is just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
When it snowed today and it looks like there's like frosted, you know what I mean?
Are you guys? I didn't look everywhere else, but obviously I knew you had this one here and then the one upstairs. Are you the type of people
This
that
is the
have
only tree that's still up.
No, but what I'm saying is, are you the type of people that have multiple trees? I like that.
We have 3. You know that.
Dude, my sister
I didn't know where the
does.
third one was.
Back there.
I didn't see it. I haven't been back there in months.
So we bought a new tree for this room. Last year you knew there was a tree. That's our memory tree back there. The one in the other room is the one that has like all of our kids year by year. So we do a tree we call a memory tree. And so the memory tree is filled with
Memories?
ornaments that are specific year by year for something that they accomplished.
Oh, that's cool.
So like each one of them, the year they got their driver's license. Rylan still hasn't done that.
Holy,
You should
I
get
know,
like a little
I know.
poop
that is
emoji
mind.
for when he pooped in the
Can we
toilet.
stop and talk about that? That's fucking mind blowing.
That
No,
he's
it's not.
The second that I
It's
could
becoming-
get my fucking
I
driver's
know.
license,
No, listen,
It's a different era.
It's a different era. I've talked about this to a ton of people. It's a lot more common nowadays for kids to wait till they're 18 to get their license.
why?
When you and I were growing up,
Because everyone takes them places.
It was a sign.
Stop
yes,
taking
yeah.
them places.
It was a sign of independence. Like as soon as you got your license, you were like.
and
as
we
soon as
lived
you
in
could
rural
get your
areas
license.
too, so
I
you had to
did, yeah.
drive
Yes.
everywhere.
That's
Did you?
true.
Were you
That's
rural
true.
as well?
Yes.
So that's part of it as well.
So I'll say rural in the sense that, well, honestly, like our town was probably from top to bottom 5 miles, and it was a fairly large town growing up, but there was no other town like next to it. So you didn't go from Hilliard to Dublin to Powell. You drove from like Hilliard to fucking
Plain City or
Polaris
something,
was
yeah.
the next city over.
same for me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of it too. It's not like you could ride your bike to your friend's house. Like that wasn't a thing.
I mean, you could in my town. It was a small town. I grew up with 6. I graduated with 111. I was in a town of 6,000, but it was a suburb of a 30,000 to 30,000 people towns. So like Marietta and Parkersburg were right beside me. Marietta was 11 miles away. Parkersburg was the next city right over the river. Like we were butted up to the river. Parkersburg is butted up to the river on the West Virginia side. So we were technically a suburb of Parkersburg, probably, if you had to give it a label.
Yeah.
But we only had 6,000 people in our town. But it was spread out, a lot of cow farming, like dairy farmers.
We had a lot of soybeans, corn, stuff like that.
We didn't have as much farming. It was more dairy or cow type.
Because of the hills.
Yeah, and then we had DuPont, Shell, Kaiser. We're all right there. Big factories, so people drove from all over to work there.
Did you watch that DuPont documentary? Not to segue.
That was actually my
that's Parkersburg.
City.
Yeah,
that's my city. Yeah,
yeah. That's
the Dark Waters. Or
Dark
like
Waters.
That.
That's a very good documentary. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, you know how many friends I've lost to cancer because of that.
I have no doubt.
To what?
Cancer. What was it, C8 or something like that?
Teflon. So DuPont and the Teflon.
But it wasn't the Teflon. Wasn't it the discarding part of the Teflon or
of
something?
making the Teflon?
Yeah.
Correct.
Was it just friends that worked in the factory?
It was in the water and everywhere.
It's in the
but
water.
You didn't get it.
It's in the water everywhere in the world now.
Correct. Every person has traces of C8 in their body.
There is not a body of water in this world that doesn't have that shit in it somehow.
What is it?
You'll have to watch the documentary.
It's called Dark Waters.
I'll download it for you.
There's two documentaries, I believe. It's not even a documentary. Dark Waters is not a documentary.
It's a movie.
That's a movie, but there is a documentary, I believe.
Can it be filtered out?
No.
The movie?
No, whatever chemicals.
C8,
no, it can't. It's so
forever.
small, it actually evaporates with the water. And whenever it rains, that's why it's in every body of water in the world.
There was even a thing with Columbus in it because they showed downtown Columbus in that movie because there was a court hearing or something in Columbus for whatever reason.
Was it because of that factory down by you? Like
yes,
that
it's near,
Soul factory
that in Parkersburg.
That was one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
And because of that single factory worldwide, it's
yes.
Think about that, but like China. Like
who knows what the hell they're putting into shit? Yeah.
There's a lot of.
Did we nose this yet? Did we nose this?
I think that's what it was.
Let's nose
was
it.
what I got on.
Yeah, you got that on the nose. A horse.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
You could be that
real
dude
good.
from
I do that
Police
all the time.
Academy.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I can do. That's about the only thing.
You know, we need to find a day where we get together. We order takeout from the Pearl, and we watch another.
He's reliving Airplane all over.
I am. That was a fun night.
One of his fun nights.
That was a fucking fantastic.
You're right. We do need to do that again. We keep talking about it. When we haven't.
But like we choose like Police Academy or something in the 80s or 70s.
Hopefully something you haven't
Spaceballs.
seen yet.
I love Spaceballs. Jillian loves Spaceballs.
It's got to be something you haven't seen.
Yeah,
I know.
Now it's gonna be hard for
watching
me.
you giggle like a little fucking kid to
freaking Airplane.
Airplane was so funny.
So there are a couple of Mel Brooks films that I don't know that I have seen or it's been
Blazing
like 15.
Saddles?
I mean, I've seen that, but like it's been like 15 years.
History of the World Part 1.
I haven't seen that.
Which is funny because there was never a part 2. It was just like, that was just his like comedy of naming it.
He was Robin Hood Men in
Anything Mel
Tights,
Brooks.
that was
Anything
him.
fucking Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah, I've got the Mel Brooks box set.
Oh, cool.
It's good.
There's so many good 80s movies.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I could go
But it
on
has to
forever
be
and
a
ever.
dumb
not even just
comedy
80s,
like
some
that.
90s too.
Yeah, I agree.
It
Early
has to be
90s.
dumb.
I think Robin Hood Men in Tights was early.
Robin
90s.
Hood Men in Tights is one of my all-time favorite comedies.
It is.
Dave
So-
Chappelle's in that.
It is from this point forward that all the bathrooms in the kingdom will be named John.
John's, and he looks at him.
I love that. All right, so let's take a drink of this.
I think this might be my third favorite of them so far.
Yeah.
Not me.
Is it your favorite or second favorite?
It's got a nice little rye spice to it, which I'm not a rye guy, but I love my rye heavy.
The
bourbons,
proof
I
on
think.
this has to be 85.
You think
No,
so?
there's definitely rye in this for sure.
I don't get it.
And so I got to clarify too. It's all about my mood. There's sometimes when I want that rye spice, and there's sometimes when I don't
Sure.
want that rye
100%,
spice.
100%.
So it's not saying that like tomorrow
No.
this is going to be my number 3. This could be my number 1 tomorrow.
This
It's
is
just how I'm feeling tonight, what I've eaten tonight.
I feel like this is easily 100 proof. 90. This has got to be higher than 90 proof to me. It's either that or the rye.
I think it's the rye.
But
because
could be.
I don't know. I had some sweet potato tots with my dinner tonight. I love sweet potato tots.
I didn't have any dinner tonight.
You're going to be drunk.
The CrossFit, and then came straight home, vacuumed the floor, and then we came down here.
But I think that's why I'm digging the sweeter stuff from earlier. Like the other ones were a little sweeter, and I think it's because I had those sweet potato tots.
You're 100% right. There are some days where the sweet bourbons, immediately love them.
Yeah.
And then there were days I just pulled a Tyler and made some mouth noises.
That was me.
I did it too.
Yeah.
I think we did it about the same time.
No, you went, and then I went.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for clarifying.
I didn't hear you.
Thanks for clarifying where those came from.
I love that you're wearing my shirt right now.
I have every one of these shirts still.
Yeah.
Every one. My favorite one is still the white Arnold shirt.
With the red sleeves?
What? No, I don't know that one.
Oh.
It's not from very long ago. I just like the way it fits me. I'll send you a picture later.
Can I ask you a question?
Of your shirt?
For maybe you guys are both this way. He fluctuates more than... I feel like he fluctuates more than you do.
In our weight, or what do you mean?
Yeah, but like 2019, I feel like it was like 30 pounds ago. Obviously, you're not a fat fuck like me. But how do you fit into stuff from like 5 years ago?
Hold up, before you answer that question, dickhead. I still fit into all of my shit from 2017. Moving forward,
you fluctuate like in a good way. Like if
now he saves himself.
No, I'm serious. Like
I don't fluctuate a lot in my weight.
In a good way. How do you fluctuate in a good way?
You might like go through a period of time where you're like going through a strength cycle or something but it's not like 30 pounds. It's like 10.
So I will say, I'm not trying to stunt or to flex, no pun intended, but I feel like I gain muscle mass quickly.
But you also lose it very quickly.
Right.
Not muscle mass, but I'm saying weight.
I do. I have.
Like I don't
know if that's going to continue.
If you're like, hey, I have a
meet that I have to lose weight for,
or you have a vacation in 2 months, you're like, okay, like I can lose 10 pounds.
Yeah, for your like wedding, for example.
Yeah.
Both AJ and I got Speedo fit.
Speedo fit.
I will say.
By the way, speaking of that,
the shit out of that Speedo.
I don't know. Hopefully AJ doesn't listen. But AJ well, you know, every time I lift with him, he's like, yeah, like he
fluctuates a lot.
Yes, he's one that fluctuates. I fluctuate quite a bit, not so much anymore, but I usually will fluctuate down and up quite a bit.
So the picture...
It's usually not great, by the way. That's not a great sign.
Just recently, the picture of you and Jillian and me and Trina at the boxcar thing was mind-blowing.
How fucking little I was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowing. It was probably 30 pounds.
Dude, at least.
I was like, wow, all right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that, Tyler.
Well, it just depends. Like, I mean,
But you had a huge...
No, but...
Injury, correct.
But,
and then COVID,
I was also in sports aiming to be in a certain weight class.
Yeah,
like that doesn't exist for me anymore.
Right.
Or then I went through a wedding trying to be a certain fucking weight. So I don't necessarily have any like currently. I mean, well, obviously, like, you know, fat people don't sell anything well. So that's my
diabetes monitors.
That's my current mindset is, you know,
they do on Zoom.
I bet.
So this is probably... I can't decide where this is in my...
I think it falls 3 for me. I cut you off. I'm an asshole.
No. You're fine. This is an open forum. Unless it's Tyler when I'm trying to fucking talk about our partner, and he keeps interrupting me. I do... There's something about this one I really like, and it's not the easy drinker of the first two. It's definitely got a little bit more in-your-face rye.
This is number 2 for me.
What's your number 1?
The first one. So far.
1, 3, 2 is your...
Oh God, I can't look at that.
2 and 3 are like interchangeable. This is like a 3.5.
All right.
3.5.
Let's move on to number 4.
Move on to number 4.
Number 4.
Who does number 4 work for?
But what I feel like I've known Brett for 5-6 years now, but like it's just consistent across the board. He doesn't get fat. He doesn't get super skinny.
You should have seen him right before COVID hit. He was fucking ripped.
But
he had his shirt off running in one of our workouts, and I could see abs. I was like,
"What is?" I mean, he doesn't look that way. I mean, he doesn't look unripped now.
But he's not. There's a difference between.
If you can wear a shirt and it's straight down with no,
I've never seen Brett
curve.
Look chubby. But
for all the ladies out there, take notes.
But I've seen
have great genetics.
There's a difference between seeing his abs and not seeing his abs. His shape of his body, I don't think has ever changed since I've known him. But I will say it was. I believe it was like
it was. We were running
March,
a lot.
Yeah,
and you had your shirt off, and I looked at Trina. I was like, "Fuck his abs."
I could give a fuck about that though.
I wasn't trying for
abs.
But
to me, but here's the thing: everyone has abs. That's what people don't understand. It's that layer of fat on top that shows them or hides them. So at that moment, your abs were really making an appearance, and I was like, damn, all right. I said something to Trina, and Trina's like, yeah, I noticed the same thing.
Oh.
She didn't get wet. Fuck. She just said, I noticed his abs. That's all she said. Now, she might have been over there double-clicking the mouse in the bathroom afterwards, but she didn't tell me that part.
Really quick, and then we can go to a new subject. My weight, I don't fluctuate a lot. You know what I mean? I have to I have to struggle to keep weight on. My body wants to lose weight. It's just who I am. But we're talking pounds, not muscle mass. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I will lose muscle mass easily if I don't continually work out, eat higher protein and stuff like that. So I have to struggle to keep that, or I will lose weight.
I just heard bukkake. That's all I heard.
At least anyway.
Shake weights.
Well, I mean, we are the complete opposite.
If we had a kid, it'd be perfect though.
Yeah.
Be a perfect hybrid.
Let's rule the world.
Let's rule the world.
I think of twins.
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys with
Danny
your,
DeVito
with
and
your
fucking Arnold.
sperm shake. All right, what do you get?
This nose is muted to me, and I don't know. I feel like I need a water real quick to cleanse, but I don't get a lot on this nose.
I'm not getting a lot either. I'm getting the ethanol, which is interesting. It's overpowering. It's over, and here's the one thing I will say: there's nothing over 100 proof in this blind.
Okay.
And I'm getting the ethanol over the nose, which is interesting to me.
I'm not getting ethanol. I'm not getting much of anything. Now, I have been coughing a little bit lately, and my food doesn't taste.
You guys, I am the last person to get COVID. Don't give me this.
Oh yeah, you've had.
Is Jillian listening? Oh, I was like one of the OGs. With
I have virgin blood right now. Like my blood is worth.
You might have
money.
had COVID and just never known.
I know, but I'm gonna play ignorance and say that I have virgin blood.
I mean,
I have miracle blood right now.
Miracle blood. I don't know
if anyone's listening and wants miracle blood.
I don't know how anyone exists out there
that is
unless they've been just holed up in their fucking
like a fucking hermit.
Well, like working from
or
home
in their safe room or whatever. Who hasn't experienced COVID?
Yeah, my dad. But
I'll say.
But how many people have had it that just don't even know they've had it?
That's a very valid point.
So I had my buddy in California has it right now, and he goes, yeah, like the only he goes, I have a little bit of a cough. He goes, the only reason I tested was because I was actually around my cousin
That's the only
in New
reason
York
I was
that got it, and he got it. He goes, but my symptoms, I just have a little bit of cough. I have had a cough and a runny nose 10 times in the last.
How many times have you tested?
0.
Exactly. So you probably had it.
I will refuse to test unless I'm deathly ill or have a fever. If I have a fever, I'll test.
I didn't have a fever when I had it.
But these new variants, I don't know if
when you said you tested because it was the only reason because you were going to be around family
and the gym.
Yeah,
the gym. It wasn't family. It was the gym.
But you said you had the sniffles.
I had the sniffles, and then so here's the weird thing for me. So like Thursdays,
I've had the sniffles fucking 5 times.
Hold on. At the time that I had COVID, I was coaching Thursdays at the gym at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
and a lot of times like.
This is so muted.
Trina and I will
stay up
too. We'll stay up till midnight or 1 sometimes. I'll wake up, go coach, and I'll be fucking exhausted. Well, and I was exhausted on that day. I was so exhausted.
Ooh.
Surprised you on the tongue?
That might be number 1 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So I woke up on Thursday. I felt like absolute dog shit. I go coach. I coached all day long. Had no fever, had no cough, nothing. And I'm sitting there just coaching, thinking I'm worn down. So Thursday night at 5 p.m. I'm supposed to coach. I get to the gym at 3:30 to go work out, and I'm like, God, I don't feel like working out. I'm so tired. I went upstairs into the office, took a nap on my couch for 45 minutes, came back down and coached the 5 and the 6:30. So, yes, I probably super spread it to my entire gym.
Super spread.
And then Friday morning...
Is that an echo? What is that?
Yeah.
That was
You get it.
That was the monster, the monster truck.
Yeah.
Monday. So I go and take the test on Friday morning because after Thursday night, I'm like, well, I'm just going to get some sleep. I'll feel better in the morning. I slept for 10 hours. Woke up on Friday, still felt like dog shit, like just tired. I was just tired.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, damn. And my mom was talking to me. She's like, you know what? One of my friends felt exactly the same way. You should probably test yourself. Luckily, I had an at-home test. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the at-home test. Positive.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. And I sat there and I felt horrible because all day Thursday I was coaching. I just thought I was tired.
Did you let members know?
I did afterwards. Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone that was in my classes that day, I told them.
You know what's crazy is
I'm gonna taste this
all
now.
of the at-home tests that probably, like when the state of Ohio is like,
It's
hey,
good. It's very good. I don't know where it falls. There's in my hierarchy.
Yeah, I'm getting vanilla. I'm getting a little tiny hint of butterscotch.
So
Okay.
So when the state
The
of Ohio is
mouthfeel
like,
not as
hey,
good as
we
the
have
second one, but
we
it's-
have
it's
30,000 cases. Think of all the at-home tests that are positive that are just like
That
I'm
no-
positive,
and they
you
don't
don't
go
fucking
get it.
you don't report those.
Unless you use because some of the at-home tests, not some of, the at-home tests urges you to get on.
Urges you. They'll fucking
Right,
put it
right,
on
right.
there.
To get on the,
but
to get
no
on
one
with
fucking
the
does.
person.
No one does.
I'm sure they don't. I'm sure there are some older people who don't, and just people
Aren't
that
even
just
tech
don't.
lit.
But why
Yeah.
would you? Well, like I wouldn't. Like who fucking cares?
You wouldn't, but there are some
There are
people
people
that
that
probably
will.
don't know the directions very well and don't know to look on YouTube to how to take the test.
Yeah.
No,
And
I'm
so
saying to
talk
report
themselves
it.
through. But
So
that's
is
what I'm
he.
saying. If you use the person like you're supposed to do when you do the at-home test, then when you get the positive test, they see it and they report it
How would they see it?
because you use them to proctor your test.
No, you get one of those little fucking in the box tests.
I
You fucking
understand,
get
but
it. It's
there
positive.
could be like a QR
Did you not
code,
read
right?
the
There
fucking-
is.
That's
There
what
is
that's
that.
what he said.
Did you not read the fucking directions? You're supposed to call when you do the at-home test. You're supposed to call a proctor that guides you through it, and then when you get your result, they record it.
No, none of that.
I'm just saying you're supposed to do that. It says
I
that in
would
the
say
directions
under 50% do that.
because of his
I would say-
experience of
I would say
never
under
taking
50%.
the test.
I would say it's around 50.
Yeah.
I would say it's around 50.
Would you say if there's 20,000 positive cases reported, there's probably 50,000?
No, I don't think it's that high. I don't think that there's that many people not reporting it. It's one of those things that it's just like it is a form of politics, right? But people have varying opinions on this, and so some people are very passionate about reporting it, and some people are very passionate about being
I have
like
to
this.
fucking report it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's one of those things. So
It's just one of those things.
yeah, it's not going away. It's going to be here for a long time, regardless of the severity of things. It's going to be part of our lives
Well,
for
and
a long time.
one of the virologists that I follow says that we want Omicron to take over. We want everyone to get Omicron because that'll push out Delta and Alpha. It's more transmissible and less pathogenic, which means less deadly.
Correct.
And so if it takes over like normal viruses will, the more transmissible, less pathogenic should win out.
Yeah.
And if that happens, then this will become flu territory.
Well, but viruses need a host to survive. If they
Right.
kill the host, then they kill themselves.
Right. So that's why viruses over time, for the most part, evolve to be less pathogenic. So they want this one to become less pathogenic. They want Omicron. And he also said it's a catch-22 because we're social distancing and we're wearing masks. So that's going to slow the spread of Omicron, which means that Alpha and Delta will still have their day for a little bit longer than it should naturally.
And so this is something that I don't know the answer. Obviously, they're going through the Greek alphabet, and it doesn't go alpha, delta. Are these other variants not being talked about, or are they so minute that they're
People just don't know the alphabet very well for the Greek alphabet.
Is that seriously what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like a beta version that it just didn't last very long and we didn't talk about it. Right? And there's an epsilon version and we didn't talk about it. And you know what I mean? Like
there's definitely some versions that have happened that just never took hold.
Okay.
That is for sure. However,
okay.
I'm ready for the 5th. Or is this the 5th?
Do you plead the 5th?
Why do this is the 4th. There's one more.
What is this? Are these yours?
This is mine.
Yours.
No, I have
mine all lined up over here.
That's yours.
This was our primer.
This is mine.
These are our primers.
This is mine.
Yes.
Then this and this.
No, those are all yours.
Yeah.
We've had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all
Where
yours.
are yours?
Right there.
Why aren't you drinking all of them?
Because I'm leaving some to go back through.
Stupid.
What a dickhead. What an asshole.
So,
the heaviest pour of all of them.
Is it? I didn't pay attention.
I don't.
They're all the fucking same. He's a douche.
You took the heaviest pour.
I did?
Yeah.
I seriously was not looking.
It's fine. I don't give a shit.
That looks like the lightest pour. We didn't rate that last one.
You didn't rank it. I didn't rank any of them. You're the only one who's giving your weird.
The last one, I'm going 3.7.
All right.
So
that's your second place.
What is your favorite? Let me ask you that one.
I still think number 1.
I think number 2 is still my favorite.
That last one might be pushing the
something.
I'm going to go through shotgun on all these at the end.
Yeah, I saved a little bit of all of them, but that one we just did.
Tyler's the weirdo. He didn't save anything. He's shotgunning all these.
And I'm getting sensory overload too at this point.
Yeah.
So Brett, you commented this morning, and I appreciate that.
Oh, it was early. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're gonna ignore.
Do you guys do not disturb?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna. I mean, I just put my phone on silent
I
at all
don't turn
times.
do not disturb off until like 9 a.m.
Mine's like auto to do it. So go ahead. Sorry.
We're just gonna ignore dudes.
About the Short North, like a nice restaurant in the Short North.
No, but yes. So we're just gonna ignore dude being here because his opinion at this point in time is invalid. His opinion is either go to Bridge Park and go to the Pearl or go to the Goat. Like that's his only. That's his
I
only.
haven't been to the Goat in 6 months.
That's his only 2 suggestions.
Okay.
Okay, that's not my 2 suggestions, but whatever.
I have a buddy coming into town. And they're saying they're going to go to Hocking Hills Saturday.
Okay.
So good for them, fun. Then they're going to stay at the Graduate, which is funny because it's a hotel on the Short North.
Okay.
I told them time after time, I said, stay at the AC Hotel in Bridge Park. And I said, we will go to one of the 7 fucking restaurants right there. There's bars, everything. You can walk 30 feet no matter the weather. Like,
I agree with
there.
you, but people outside of Columbus want to stay in downtown Columbus. And that's the only thing. I love Bridge Park. I go there all the time. But think of it like you're going
if you're an out of towner, you want to stay
downtown.
Yeah,
which is a mistake.
It is.
It's a huge mistake.
But if you're going to a city you've never been,
places.
Yeah, I'm going to say Denver, Colorado. Do you want to stay in downtown Denver or do you want to stay in a suburb 30 minutes away?
You know nothing about the suburbs.
Because you don't know.
Right.
So, my whole point was...
Hold on. Hey, what do you get on the nose? This is a good nose.
More banana on this one.
Banana?
More banana
Did
on
I
this
throw
one.
in an Old Forester?
So...
Benchmark?
So what I told him was... Hey,
there is fucking banana on this. That's weird. Go ahead,
get
Tyler.
Until he fucking said that, dickhead.
So I told him, I was like, listen, obviously if you stay downtown / Short North, like there's 5 million different restaurants and bars and whatever. Like that's fun. You're going to experience that. But I said, and it's for the most part, it's all within walking distance. But you never know the weather. I said Bridge Park, you can literally go from your hotel to like fucking 5 or 10 bars and restaurants like 30 feet from you.
Yeah.
And I just love it. So he ultimately settled on the Graduate downtown, which is very funny because it's everything is decked out in Ohio, like the state of Ohio / Ohio State stuff. Like every room is like decked out in like OSU or Ohio stuff. So it's funny, but it's across from Forno, and he's like,
Forno's really good too.
It is. I haven't been there for dinner, but I've been there for brunch.
Delicious.
It's fucking fantastic.
He should do brunch there for sure.
Yes, like I'm gonna tell him like, hey, tomorrow when you wake up,
tell him to make a reservation.
Tasia, whatever, is like a street over. Love their fucking breakfast too. Bakersfield Tacos across the street.
For me, it's so-so.
Yeah, yeah. So it's funny because he was like looking at everything. He goes, dude, there's like literally 1,000 restaurants. Like, I'm like, yeah. Like I have never been anywhere where I've seen so many not congested, but just centralized bars and restaurants in one place.
It's the young professionals area.
Dude,
so
it's fucking
people
crazy.
they're out of college, they're a little into their career, they're still single, they're looking, or they don't have to be single, but looking for a good time downtown, drinks, jump around.
So he wanted to go to a place that I've never been, which I was like, okay. Del Mar is right there. I looked at Del Mar. I love seafood, but there's something about Del Mar's menu that just doesn't gravitate me there. Like there's I'm like, it's just very like meh. I don't know. So the only thing I haven't been to downtown, and he goes, it's funny. He goes, what about Condados? And I'm like, Condados is fucking awesome
for lunch.
I love Condados.
I fucking love Condados, but I was like, it just depends on what you want. Like you want a semi nicer dinner, like then let's go somewhere else. But like Condados, there's nothing wrong with. It's fucking fantastic. It's build your own fucking tacos, like
which I don't do. I just do their
regulars.
I feel like
every
they've
time
got
I build
it.
my own tacos, I fuck it up.
I do too much. I go overboard.
I do too.
Simplistic is where it's at with those.
Their tacos on the menu are outstanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Build your own. I always mess it up.
I overdo it.
It's like Mongolian barbecue. I always try to do too much.
Yep. Same.
So the only place I have not been right there. Well, I've been to Marcella's.
Love
Marcella's.
A long time ago.
Veal
so
meatball.
The veal meatball, fucking
meatball
unreal.
is ridiculous.
It's like one.
So the only
meatball.
place I haven't been to that I think we've settled on is the Guild House.
Oh, Guild House is nice.
Guild House is good.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot
haven't-
of nice places. Man.
I haven't. So
I think the only restaurant downtown that I'm not a big fan of is Del Mar.
So I think you said you went to Del Mar.
I've been to Del Mar 3 times. I've never liked it once.
God, that's great because I look at the menu and I'm like, seafood, but I'm like, it's like Hawaiian seafood. It's like, nah.
Right, but you know what sucks about Del Mar? They've got a great bourbon selection.
Fuck.
They've always got some barrel picks.
There's Buckeye Bourbon House down there too.
Buckeye Bourbon House is
There's
outstanding.
also another.
It looks like an old bank converted to a
Where is that?
Buckeye Bourbon House.
I
It's
really
right
like
beside the
this,
state.
by the way. Just so you guys.
So let's talk about this fifth one.
I really, really like this. I don't mean to cut you off, Tyler.
No, you're good. We'll continue this.
I don't know what it is about
It's
this.
a good viscosity. It's not. The finish is nice. It's medium to long. I would agree with you. I think this might be one of my higher ranked ones.
It is for me as well. I don't know if it goes number 2 or number 3 for me.
This is either number 2 or number 1 for me.
I think I'm putting it as number 2 for me.
We've done a lot.
We have, and so I have Overload.
Yeah,
Yes.
but this is definitely jumping out to me.
It is. God, I can't wait for the reveal. I really.
So the Alabibi Bourbon and Cocktail Lounge, I've heard very good things about.
Let me see the name of that. Let me see
Is
that.
it Alibaba?
Alibi.
Alibi.
Oh, I thought it was like Alibaba.
He added an extra. He added a whole extra.
It's all right.
Ali Bibi.
Alibi. Same
Alibi.
thing. Alibi.
He added a whole extra, what do you call
Alibi.
What do you call those?
Syllables?
Syllables?
Thank you.
Syllables?
He added a whole syllable to that one.
So
Alibi.
I also sent my buddy like Hyde Park, and he goes, I don't know if I'm looking for that nice. I'm like, fair.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You have all different...
I sent him like 6 restaurants. I even sent the Martini because you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Martini
Martini's
is
cool.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Martini's outstanding.
I fucking love Martini.
Martini's is so good. They've got an amazing steak. They've got great Italian food.
Yep.
It's just
they've got some good seafood
They've
stuff.
got some good bourbon on tap too.
Yeah.
Really good bourbon.
So, but it's a little bit farther down. It's a little bit. It's more of Arena District.
All right, so we're at an hour here, guys.
Who
Let's go
cares?
ahead and jump. I don't care. I'm fine. My wife's not here. She's not begging me to hurry up and get off this call.
Jillian's thankful I'm here.
She probably is.
Yeah.
We know you. So let's jump into going through these in a review and figuring out which ones we think are the best ones.
What'd you guys think about 5?
It's probably one of my top ones.
Are you saying, I guess you don't know the order. You don't know what I brought. So the last one that we did, I think this is delicious. I have this ranked number 2 for me, actually.
I think of complexity overall and proof combined. I'm going to go 4-1. So this is my favorite.
Really? It's my second.
I'm going to go through these all real quick and dive into these one at a time.
So, Brett, back
I think
to
it's
this.
Probably my 2 or 1.
Back to this food conversation. Whenever anyone comes into town, you can't go wrong with Cameron Mitchell. If you want a nicer place.
All of them are good.
The only one that I have not enjoyed is Del Mar.
Yeah.
All of them so far I've enjoyed. I haven't been to El Segundo yet. I want to go to that one.
The Avenue's good.
I haven't been to the barn.
Avenue is amazing.
I love the Avenue. I have not been to the barn. I have not been to the barn.
I thought you went there for brunch.
No.
Was that the Father's Day?
No.
You're the one who told me about the barn.
No, Jeff,
have been
I think... you went for brunch to the barn.
You've been to the barn.
No, I haven't.
You're the one who told me to go there.
Because I've heard about it, but I haven't...
Oh, that's so crazy. That's crazy. All right.
I've never been. So that's one that I want to go to, but it's obviously on the other side of town.
It is, but I don't even know if they're doing brunch buffet like they were doing because of COVID. We went there pre-COVID, and it was freaking ridiculous. Yeah. So good.
Mitchell's Ocean Club, fucking loved it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Trina's not a seafood fan, so we never go there.
Yeah. But I mean, they have fantastic steaks
Fish
too.
Market used to be
it's not, but that's still good. So good. I have been there
since they sold it.
Yes,
and it's still good.
I still enjoyed it. So
you know what's funny is the Mitchell Steakhouse is no longer Cameron Mitchell's. They sold it off.
Mitchell's Steakhouse. I didn't know that.
But it's called Mitchell Steakhouse. But it's not Cameron Mitchell anymore.
That's weird.
Yep.
Have you been there anytime?
Nope.
I've been there once. It was.
I haven't been to Ruth Chris's.
I've been there.
I
haven't been to the Jeff Ruby's.
Chris.
Jeff Ruby's.
There's
no
plural.
Jeff Ruby's.
Ruth Chris.
There's no plural.
Oh, okay. Ruth Chris. I haven't been to Jeff Ruby's. I haven't been to either of those two.
Trina and I had reservations for Jeff Ruby's for her, and I think that's in the old Morton's Steakhouse.
Maybe
restaurant.
Morton's was a famous
Morton's
place too.
Was freaking ridiculous.
Lindy's, love Lindy's.
Been to Lindy's. So Jeff Ruby's, we had reservations for Trina's birthday. We ended up canceling to do something else. I've been to Lindy's. That's good. I've done pretty much all the steakhouses in Columbus. I love steakhouses.
How about Hyde Park?
I've been to Hyde Park millions of times.
I've heard good though.
Oh yeah, I like.
I've heard Smith and Walensky for what you get is
it's expensive as shit. We just went there on Saturday.
Really?
And I ended up getting a salad and their truffle mac and cheese because of how expensive their steaks were.
Wow.
How?
They've gone up by probably $20 each.
You got to think about market value, market price.
And they got rid of their burger and a couple of sandwiches that they used to have.
Are we
I
talking
want a bourbon
like
reveal, by the way?
Are we talking about like a 12-ounce for $50?
No, there was nothing at $50 on their menu.
Fuck, that's expensive. That's way overpriced.
The cheapest steak they had was $65. And that was a 10-ounce.
Hyde Park's not even that.
That was a 10-ounce sirloin, I believe. Ugh. I'll go to fucking Outback. or Texas Roadhouse. And they're fine.
So that just reinforces don't ever go to Smith and Wollensky.
But listen, Smith and Wollensky, their Wollensky salad is by far the best salad I've ever had. It is so good. And then their truffle mac and cheese is probably one of the best mac and cheeses I've ever had.
By the way,
I'm not kidding.
The steak in Kentucky that I had hammered still might be one of my favorites.
Kentucky?
Yes.
Oh, at that one place.
I ate it with a butter knife.
Brett, what did you think of that? Oh, that's right. You didn't fucking go with us.
Hey, okay. I ate it with a fucking butter knife. All right.
So let's go back through these. 1. Not as good as I remembered.
But
2. Hold on.
1's not as good as you remember.
Nothing special about 2.
What?
3.
You're making me question everything about my life right now.
3.
3?
Yeah.
3. I think I had number 3 listed, not very high.
Oh, it's much better after going through all these again. I'm going to take a little sip of water.
Oh, God, I'm so confused. Okay, number 3 I have as number 4.
Hey, you don't have to be in line with me.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to see where that fell in my hierarchy.
Ooh.
That's number 4?
Yeah.
I have number 4, number 5 in mine. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
But you know how we talked earlier about mood, sweetness thing? This one's a little sweeter. Number 4. And I think that is hitting with me right now. Let me look at number 5 real quick.
I need some water, too.
Damn, that 5's not bad. And that 5 might be my...
That last one is... I have it as number 2 in my likeness.
I don't know that I can rank these 1 through 5.
This is hard.
I don't know that I can. There's too many.
I haven't had anything that was bad. Let me clarify with that.
They've all been ridiculously good in just a nice, simple way. All right, so I'm going to reveal them as you tell me. I'm going to go through your favorites, Brett.
Okay. So...
Do you know your favorites, Tyler?
I wrote down the order I brought them out and the order of my favorites. So...
Tell me your favorite first, and then tell me which number it was.
My favorite I have listed as number 2.
Okay. That's fucking great. That is fucking great. Benchmark.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I was like...
I'm just kidding. It's Blanton's.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Blanton's.
Okay.
That's great. Martel will hate you.
So that's funny. It's Blanton's. Yeah, no, it's good. So your number 1 in this whole thing was Blanton's.
I guess. I hate to say that, but damn it.
Why do you hate to say that?
I don't know, because I hate the stigma behind it.
It's hard to find.
It's still so good.
It is.
It is good.
Not long ago, I had like 2 or 3 drinks of some very, very good stuff and then finished with Bland's, and I was like,
I know.
Bland's is really fucking... So that was the best.
What number was that in our list?
I brought that out second.
So number 2 is number 2.
That is correct.
Okay. That was pretty high on my list as well. All right. So what's your next one?
Number 3.
So what was that in our list?
I brought that out last.
So number 5 is your second?
Correct. The last one I brought out.
That's my favorite.
And that's your favorite.
Is my second favorite.
E.H. Taylor small batch.
I see. I do love some E.H. Taylor, so that fits with me.
So that's good.
That makes me happy.
5, I just said at the end there, 5 was...
Yeah, I do love some E.H. Taylor.
It kind of jumped out at me.
So number... Okay, go ahead.
No. What were you going to say?
I was going to say number 1 was my second favorite. And I think...
And that's what I have listed next as number 1 that I brought out.
What was that?
Number 4.
Wait. Okay.
Don't worry about the 4.
The number 1 that we had tonight
back there
was number 4 back there.
Yeah, the first thing I brought out was number 4 back there.
And that was your favorite.
Second favorite. Because I went 5 as number 1.
I have it as my third favorite.
It's my second favorite.
Eagle Rare.
Fuck, I hate that.
Why?
I hate that.
Why?
I like Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare is good.
Because I've done a couple of blinds that I've just been like, meh.
Really? Oh, I like Eagle Rare. I always do.
It was your which favorite?
Second favorite.
Second favorite.
If Elmer T. Lee gets last
EH
place
Taylor
in
was
this,
your first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you didn't put.
What's next?
For me, it is number 5, which was the third one I brought out to you guys.
Okay.
So number 5 out.
Yeah.
Don't for you.
So
Number
this
5
is your third favorite.
This is no. My third favorite was Eagle Rare. This is the 4th bourbon I brought out.
Oh yeah, we did Blanton's, E.H. Taylor, Eagle Rare. This is okay. So this is your 4th favorite.
Correct, which is number 5. Hold on.
This is fucking funny. This is really fucking funny.
Yes, this is my 4th favorite, which is number 5, which I gave to you guys 3rd. Does that make sense?
Jesus fucking Christ.
I know. So forget the number.
Just tell me which one is your 3rd favorite.
Number 5.
Okay.
No, 3rd favorite? We already did that.
4th favorite, sorry.
Number
Which
5.
one is your 4th favorite?
Number 5.
Okay, number 5 is your 4th favorite.
Yes.
So your first favorite was Blanton's.
Blanton's.
Your second favorite was E.H. Taylor.
Yes.
Your third favorite was Eagle Rare.
Yes.
Your 4th favorite is Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
Your 5th favorite,
Shut up. Elmer T. Lee.
Elmer fucking T. Lee.
Shut up.
No, I swear.
What number was Elmer T. Lee?
Elmer T. Lee was number 1.
You really like number 1.
No,
You
it's
really
not.
like number 1 too.
He didn't
you
bring
said.
them out. You didn't bring them out.
I
Number
thought that
one.
was your favorite.
No, you didn't bring them out.
Wait,
number
wait,
one.
wait, hold on.
Now I'm all kinds of lost.
What was the first one you brought out?
The first one I brought out was number 4.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. What was number 1? When did you bring that out?
The 4th one.
So the 4th one was Elmer T. Lee.
That blows my mind.
What did I?
But you know, whatever. I love blinds for this reason.
Yeah. So what was your What was your?
I don't remember.
Do you remember your?
That's
favorite?
why I had to write them down.
It was. I mean, it was. I want to say that was a little bit higher, like a 3.
Probably why we need notebooks.
7. Yeah.
Notebooks.
Well, I wrote it all down. But
Yeah.
you know what? I have a little notebook that I should have been using
I know.
for this.
I've got one too.
So I will say that this is not the first time that I've done a blind, not a blind, but done a comparison with E.H. Taylor in there, and been like,
Remember what you eat that day. Things
I
like
think that's
that.
why.
but this is the
Stuff
first. This
like that.
isn't the first time that I've noticed that E.H. Taylor is not like.
E.H. Taylor was high for me. It was number 3.
No,
No,
I'm
it was
saying,
number
like,
2.
It was
one.
number 2 for you.
It was number 2, yeah.
Eagle
Rare
Sorry,
was
sorry.
3.
Yeah. Elmer T. Lee, not E.H.
Yeah,
Taylor.
it was. I cannot believe that. I got to go pee. I'm sorry, guys.
I do too.
That's really disappointing to me. Number 4 and number 5 were probably my 2 favorites. And number 4 is Elmer T. Lee. Number 5, I believe, was E.H. Taylor, right? Or it was Eagle Rare.
I don't know. I don't know the system that you guys did.
Well, I numbered them back there, and then he numbered them as he brought them out. So he's peeing, so we can't figure out the magic behind the curtain. So it is fun to do this in the sense that it removes all bias.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were doing an all Buffalo Trace distillery blind without, and Buffalo Trace actually did okay. So that was surprising to me. The Buffalo Trace did as well as it did against this lineup. This is a pretty big lineup. If you were to look at things that people are paying a lot of money for, Elmer T. Lee, Blanton's, E.H. Taylor, Eagle Rare, people are paying out the wazoo for, you know?
Yeah.
And then Buffalo Trace comes in and hangs with all of those. That was actually kind of surprising. So, Brett, now that you're back from taking a leak, go through again.
And also,
your ratings. Go through your ratings, and then I'll tell you what they were again.
So
because that's the hardest part for me to reconcile right now.
my ratings. So my first that I picked was number 2.
It was Blanton's,
Okay. My next one was number 3.
which is E.H. Taylor,
Next is number 4.
which is Eagle Rare.
Next is number 5,
which is Buffalo Trace.
And last, which I hate to say last, is number 1.
Yeah. But you like them all.
I like them all.
I mean, let's be honest. We like them all. Your last one was Elmer T. Lee.
You know what my big takeaway from this is? So
Lines level the playing field.
That, but here's my other thing too. So I have wanted a bottle of VH Taylor for a long time, and I was like, "What can I?"
You don't have a bottle?
I do not have a bottle of VH. Or no, I'm sorry, Elmer T. Lee. Sorry.
Yeah.
I do have an EH Taylor.
I have one that I've opened, and I'm waiting to get another.
I love when you talk without being on the microphone.
He said he has one that he opened, and he's waiting. I was for the listeners, not you.
Yeah.
And he's waiting to drink it until he gets another one. And I'm the same way. I have one that I've opened, and I don't drink it very often because I want to get a backup. One to smash, one to stash. Anyway.
What was number 2 again?
My liking,
what was
or the order I brought it out?
Yeah, the order you brought it out.
The second thing that I brought out to you was number 2.
Blanton's. It's probably my least favorite.
Really?
I just had another drink of it. It's probably my least favorite. What was the number 1 one you brought out?
The first thing I brought out was number 4.
Eagle Rare. I definitely like 1 better than 2. That was... I just revisited them again, not knowing what it was that I was having. And I really think that I like the Eagle Rare better than the what was number 1 again? Blanton's?
The first thing I brought out, or my number 1?
You're the one you brought out first. Blanton's, right?
I brought out first. No, I didn't bring out Blanton's first. I brought out number 4 first. Which was number...
That was the one I liked better. What was number 2 that you brought out?
Number 2.
Okay, yeah. So I like Eagle Rare better than Blanton's, for sure.
I guess my big takeaway from this, where I've wanted a bottle of EH...
What was the third one you brought out?
Are you going to do that bonus
number
bottle
5.
Yes. Number 5.
On air or off?
That was probably my least favorite. That was Buffalo Trace. That was 3 for sure was my least favorite. I remember because of the glass that it's in.
Mm-hmm. Like number 3 that you brought out, or like
Correct.
number 3
like, that he brought out.
Don't worry about.
That was Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
My big thing from this, I've wanted a bottle of Elmer T. Lee for a long time, and I was thinking of paying a ridiculous.
No, you don't want to do that.
Secondary.
You got some in there for whenever you want it.
But I'm going to make an easy number. We're going to call it 300. I would rather buy 3 Blantons at 100 or 3 EH Taylors at 100 apiece, as opposed to one
bottle of
for 300.
100%.
And that's my takeaway from this.
No, I hear you. I'm not disagreeing with that sentiment at all. And here's the thing. This is a hot take. Bourbon value is what you make of it. So if you really love Blanton's, you really love it.
Apparently I do.
But wherever you live, you can't get it like we get it in Ohio. Ohio is the number 1 state for receiving Blanton's. So if you don't get it in Ohio, like if you don't live in a state like Ohio where you get it all the time, I should say, and you want to pay $100 for Blanton's because you love it, then go for it.
I'm impressed Buffalo Trace finished this high.
But my point is that everyone's different in their tastes, and so value is dependent on your own flavor profile. Mm-hmm. If Elmer T. Lee is the most amazing thing you've ever tasted in your life, pay $300 for it to get a bottle. If you want to pay $300 every time you have one, then I've got some psychiatrist business cards I can hand out to you. But
what else do you want to sell?
But seriously, like the first time you want to try something, if you've never had it, you want to try it. I have no problem with someone paying 3 or 4 times, the standard value of the bottle to get it for the first time. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that.
Right.
But if you pay $100, let's say you pay $300 for Elmer T. Lee, and does that affect your value or like the way that you think it tastes? Does that affect?
Probably.
Because I paid $300 for this.
Because you have that invested.
Amazing. Right. So again, that's why blinds are amazing, because blinds level the playing field. Value is purely on taste in a blind.
All the bias is gone, and that's what I love about a blind.
The biases are gone, but the value is all in the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing something like that, it is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to determine your value of what a bourbon is. So you just found out Blanton's was your favorite tonight of all these.
Yeah.
Go pay $100 for a fucking bottle of Blanton's.
I would. For an E.H. Taylor or a Blanton's, I'd probably pay $100 for one at this point.
That was your two, right?
Yeah,
E.H.
those
Taylor?
top two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle Rare was what? Your
third.
Third? So your top three were Blanton's, E.H. Taylor, Eagle Rare.
And I have that Eagle Rare store pick I haven't opened.
Yeah.
That you got.
That'll be
you
interesting.
Helped me get. I know.
Because it's going to be a little different than the regular
I'm
Eagle Rare.
We'll gladly bring it on the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Give it an excuse to pop.
By the way,
or we can just pregame with
it. Yeah, absolutely. Anything. We don't have to record. We can just fucking.
Or we can just chug it.
Chug.
You know what? We just do a beer bong version of Eagle Rare.
I'm cool
butt chug.
Butt chug. Let's butt chug it.
Butt chug some beers.
So what are we doing for our? You want to sign off and then we'll have our bonus pour. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in. You can find me at Dude Pool on Instagram. We are the Bourbon Hunters on Instagram. You got Brett Paul Bryan, which is the serial killer, and People Schnoz.
People's _Schnoz.
Yes, and then you got Ty Schaefer, 04. Because
there
were three of them before that. Four is apparently.
Four's lucky.
I'm gonna look up Ty Schaefer 02 today.
Yeah, look him up. See who the fuck
the
that
OG
guy is. The OG Ty Schaefer 01. And find us, give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. That means a lot to us. If you are into our Instagram, check out our Green Line Goods link. Those glasses may not be for you, but the rocks glasses, we're really enjoying them. They're hefty. They seem like a nice quality product. They've got a lot of different etches and prints on them. They've got wine glasses. They've got a new hand-blown crystal type collection that they're coming out with.
There may or may not be a promo code in there.
There is a promo code. It is Bourbon Hunters. That'll give you 15% off. 15% off. Use that. That also gives us a little kickback, if you will. But let's just give us a review. That's the big thing. Go to Green Line Goods if you need some rocks glasses and some different glasses. Their glassware is really nice. We've used it. We've actually partaken. Is that a word?
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
Yeah, it is.
With their drinks and their glasses. Check out our Instagram. We have some pictures of Brett really.
I'm like so into that. I was reading the chemical
I know you
compound
were,
on
but
it.
it was best. The best
Todd.
Todd Sarver's like, I really wish I could find a girl that looks at me the same way that
Brett looks at bourbon.
at that glass. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining in, guys. Check us out next week when we are going to be live from Cafe Round 2 minus Tyler. I apologize for that. But those of you who don't like Tyler, listen in.
I believe we're going to have Angel's Envy. Is that correct on the rep?
Angel's Envy. We're going to be doing the cask strength from 19, 20, and 21, which is the 21 is the 10-year anniversary of that.
Oh, super cool.
So I'll be bringing those with us. He'll be bringing some things. So there'll be some cocktail kits from Angel's Envy that he's going to be bringing. That'll be next week on the podcast. So thanks for joining in. We'll see you next week, guys.
Thank you for joining in for yet another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. If you like what you hear, please leave us a good rating on Apple, Podbean, Google, or wherever you are listening. It definitely helps us to get great guests on our show. And follow us on Instagram and the Facebooks to keep up to date with what is in our glass. As always, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy some bourbon.